Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Raven Creek. My name is Pacha, and today we are building for already the last animal of the Twilight Pack. Of course, it's the flagship animal, the Raccoon. But before we talk about that, I just wanted to mention, because I didn't really saw it that often when it was introduced, but you already saw me using it for the skunk habitat and now for this habitat as well briefly. I'm talking about the small animal gate. Yeah, right out of the blue a little bit. I'm sorry if some people are confused when I talk about that, but I just want to briefly talk about how incredible, amazing it is that Frontier gave us this gate. I don't anymore when it was, but it was last year. With one of the big DLC updates, and yeah, when back then when we wanted to build like one of these free habitats that don't have a building attached to them, we just had to use the big habitat gate, which basically looked ugly. We had to hide them in rocks and maybe plants and that kind of thing. And yeah, such habitats like I'm building here and also I built for the skunk were not that easily buildable. But thanks to Frontier, yeah, these gates are awesome, and I'm so happy that we got them because they make building freestanding habitats, if you want to call them like that. So habitats that have no building attached to it, as I said, so much easier. And yeah, it's just a short thank you to Frontier for that. And now let's talk about what we are doing today. As I said, we are building for the Raccoon, the front animal of the Twilight DLC, and with that we are also this is also the last build for the Twilight Pack in Raven Creek, and it felt much shorter, like in much shorter time, like with the not in comparison to the aquatic DLC, as well as the conservation DLC, which also we started a whole new zoo for. But yeah, this time time kind of flew by while were building for the fox, the raccoon, and now yeah, also the skunk and the wombat over on Isle of the Wild, and we are now finishing it. Sadly, yeah, for now will not building for the Egyptian fruit bed. Maybe in the future, once I find a nice idea for it. But now will be the last animal from this pack that we are building for. As you can see, we are also making a small hut for them. This build is heavily inspired by a raccoon habitat that I have in my local small animal park near me, and they also have these small little huts there where they usually huddle together, cuddle with each other when it's colder outside, and mostly sleep all day. They can also access a tree nearby that is not part of their habitat, but is close enough so that they can climb on it, and they are allowed to climb on it because they can't go down from this tree out apart from in the to get back in the habitat. So they usually sleep in these little huts or on their favorite sleeping tree, so to say, little balls of fur in the rooftops of the tree, which is very cute. The raccoons, Frontier did an amazing job with them. They look incredible well. And as Rudy said in his video about his opinion on the Twilight Pack, in the right light, in the right setting, they can almost look like the real animal, and not like a raccoon, not raccoon, it's a Planet Zoo animal. Yes, which sometimes have a more comical look to them, but these animals, they are spot on with the real animal, and yeah, sometimes you can't even distinguish them from each other. As I said, this build is heavily inspired by the one I have in my zoo near me. This also includes the climbing frames, which I went for a more naturalistic feel with these branches and tree stumps, so to say, building the climbing frame, creating the climbing frame. And at the moment, it kind of looks a little bit empty and a little bit weird to have these climbing frames in this huge open space. But once we get the foliage in, I can tell you safely that this will look amazing. In fact, I think this habitat is one of my favorite habitats I built so far in Raven Creek. and we are now, I think, at around 8 or 10 animal habitats in this zoo already. Once I'm finishing the forest area, which we are in now right now, I have to give a little update tour on the whole park. I think you can leave me a comment down below if you're interested in seeing a tour of the full park, including the wetlands area, most likely. So everything that was built so far, and some behind the scenes ideas for the future. We have to see. Once I still have some things to do here in the forest area. There's still the big plaza with near the grizzly bears, which has to be decorated with some shops and some sitting opportunities. And there's also a big space in front of the lynx area, which is still not decorated but is part of the forest area. But yeah, this is also not only the last animal from the Twilight pack, but it is also the last animal from the forest area, as I just said. Originally, this was planned as an implied habitat, so there was not an raccoon habitat, or there was a raccoon habitat planned here. But at the time when I planned this area, we didn't have raccoons, and I also didn't know we would get raccoons in the future. So I had this planned as an implied habitat, or there was also an idea floating around in the room to have that as, or to make it a red panda habitat, and yeah, basically as a copycat for the raccoon, because let's face it, red pandas are just red raccoons and just a little bit cuter. But yeah, luckily we now have the raccoon in the game, and yeah, I'm just happy with it, and it's so good that I can realize this habitat as it should be with the real animal in place. And yeah, I know a lot of people say they are not real zoo animals, because for most of these people they see them in their backyards if they are from the States, and even in Europe these animals are found in zoos, but will not be found in zoos much longer in the future, because the European Union passed a law. Basically, it's a bit more complicated, but to keep it simple, made a law to so it's not allowed anymore to breed raccoons in zoos, or to get new raccoons once one of them dies. So once all raccoons in a zoo have been died out from age or from disease or from whatever case it is, this zoo is not allowed to get new raccoons or to breed new raccoons. So at one point in the future, most likely raccoons will die out in European zoos, at least for sure in Germany and the Netherlands, because they are treated as a pest here. They originated from fur farms in the 20th century, where they escaped from, and now we have a whole lot of more of them in the entirety of Europe, not their natural habitat, and they are threatening the local wildlife, especially birds with their eggs, but also they push away other local wildlife that lives here, because they are very opportunistic. They are very easy in what they need and what they need to survive, so they thrive very easily here. Especially in Germany has a huge problem with them, because as you might know, they also search through the trash and kick over trash cans and everything like that. So we try to get rid of them. They are, I don't know what it's called, invasive species. I think it's an invasive species, together with some other ones that came from around the world to us. But all of these are now on the brink. We try to limit their amount in the wild as well as in zoos. So at one point in the future, European zoos will most likely not feature raccoons anymore, at least the smaller ones. I don't know how it is with the big prestige zoos, if they are allowed to keep them, but in any case, raccoons will become more of an exotic animal again in the future of Europe, which I think is very interesting to give this other perspective. If you are maybe from the United States and you only know them as your backyard animals, we also have them here in Europe, if you didn't know that, but we have a problem with them, as you might also have a problem with them, but for you, they are local wildlife, so different case. But yeah, I will leave you to the rest of the video with some music, and I see you then at the end, in the end time, with a short, yeah, very short showcase of the whole exhibit. And yeah, see you in the end of the video. Enjoy the music. So, and we are now in the zoo itself, in the real-time part. Oh, there's one running to a secret project for next week. But yeah, here we are now in front of the forest area with our wolf statue, and so far this whole area here in front of the reindeers that you can maybe spot in the background. There is one. Oh no, this is a raccoon. But yeah, it was empty. There was nothing in here because we didn't have a raccoon. But now, they are climbing a lot. You can already hear them in the background. But yeah, now this place is filled actually with the raccoons. The wolves are on the back side. Here we have the raccoons. Yeah, I even managed to got a leucistic one, a white one. But we'll most likely change that out once the file is finished for a regular one, as albino animals are quite rare. But yeah, this is now the finished habitat. We also have some signage that I still need to change to the raccoon one, which will go on my list, with a lot of other signs I still have to make. Here are our lovely reindeers, actually, and here we have another two viewing areas, viewing opportunities. Hello, there's one coming by. Sadly, they can't use the shelters due to how hitbox works. They are actually wide enough and high enough. The opening is high high enough and wide enough, so to say, for them to go in, but it isn't, yeah, the bare room is not big enough to fit in. So they could go through if there would be a room behind that, but how it is now with the back wall just blocks them from getting in. So this is sadly how it is. But hey, in imagination they would be able to use that without any problem. But yeah, we have these two viewing areas here, there and there, and the other one next to the gate. So plenty of opportunities to look at our little fellows. Hello. And I just like how it fits in with how it fits within the space here. There are the skunks. We also have a little statue. It just fits in nicely and just closes up, finishes this area, and which now has no empty spaces whatsoever. So I'm really happy that, yeah, we were able to fill this space out. But yeah, this was already it. It's, as I said, only a short showcase because it's only a small habitat. If you liked the video, maybe consider giving this video a like. And if you haven't already, maybe also consider subscribing to the channel. I know a lot of people watch this channel without having subscribed. So if you want me happy and give me a great day, maybe subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and just, yeah, gives me a lot of joy. And yeah, and also you will not miss any videos in the future of the channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope I see you in the next video. And until then, stay safe, have a great time. I see you. Bye bye.